Andie. I write and tell stories, and this one is called Christmas Day in Dewsbury, or What No Butter, Part 1. Auntie May's generous hospitality was legendary. Her warm, hearty laugh filled every nook and cranny in her small stone terraced house in Dewsbury, West Yorkshire. One December, many years ago now, back in the early 1980s, Auntie May had invited me and our Richard for Christmas dinner. It was a big deal. You see, as newlyweds, the family were very keen to have a good look at me. I was petrified. What would they think of me, a southerner, up north, out of my comfort zone? I needn't have worried though, for they welcomed me with open arms. I shall do for us, said Auntie May. We had arrived to find Auntie May on her hands and knees, wrestling a large tray of hot mince pie straight out of the oven. Somehow she had raised 3 strapping lads in her small kitchen. I don't know how she did it. Nor do I know how she got 14 of us in there for the Christmas feast. Cheek by jowl, aunties and uncles and granddad, my in-laws, me and our Richard, even a neighbour or two, were crammed around trestle tables end to end, which groaned and swayed under the weight of 3 types of roast, mounds of buttery mash, honey roast parsnip, brittle crackling, all swilled down in pools of thick onion gravy. Not forgetting the sprouts, of course, which had been steaming in the pressure cooker since dawn, steamed to a pulp. Auntie May presided over her extended family with a warm heart and a quick wit. Oh, hasn't our Andrea got childbearing hips? She'll have babies like shelling peas, that lass. No point being embarrassed. My hips were family now. After the plates had been cleared and with stomachs at full stretch, the men folk sloped off into the best room for a smoke and a drop of whisky. Purely medicinal, of course, said Uncle Burn as he disappeared into the hallway, no doubt grateful to have escaped the washing up. Aye, we'll be in conference if you need us, said my father-in-law, Reg, knowing only too well he'd be underfoot in the kitchen. And Grandad stood to take his walking stick, looked at me and winked. Aye. And young cousin Arthur grabbed just one more bit of crackling before he dashed out after the older men, no doubt hoping for a sup of beer or two. Hollow legs, that lad, laughed Auntie May. May and her sister Irene, my mother-in-law, set to work delving into the teetering tower of saucepans and plates and cups. No rest for wicked Andrea, beamed Irene as she flicked a tea towel over my shoulder and a drag of ash into the kitchen sink. Crocks won't wash themselves. After the cacophony of cutlery and peals of laughter had died down in that kitchen, Auntie May moved all the tables underneath the sash window out of the way, with the odd assortment of straight-back chairs and stools and poufs arranged around the perimeter of the room to give the ladies a place to settle down with tea and the very important business of gossip. Old Auntie Annie took up her post by her friend and companion Doris by the door, just in case she had a call of nature. For Annie, today was the pinnacle of her year. Her life had been one of drudgery, having worked in the cotton mill since girlhood and having had to give up her young man just to look after her selfish old mother. Old before her time and stone deaf, dear Auntie Annie was greatly loved and afforded special status by all the family. She had 2 bits of crackling. Next to Auntie Annie, Irene balanced elegantly on the piano stool, with her back up straight against the keyboard, from where she could keep an eye on the comings and goings in the room, lest she should miss anything vital. And Auntie May sat next to her sister on an unfeasibly tight carver kitchen chair, which seemed to matter little as she forever bobbed up and down in and out at kitchen, ensuring everyone had a cup of tea and a slice. Across the room, a vision in thick textured brown and orange polyester, sat one Auntie Mary. She was a widowed neighbour and old friend of Auntie May's, a stout woman past her prime, if indeed she'd ever had one. Her crumpled, dough-like face, with more than a hint of whisker, was held taut as she raised her bushy eyebrows in expectation of any gleam of tittle-tattle. And balancing on a very narrow buffet, my childbearing hips got wedged between the coal scuttle and the hearth, which threatened to singe my new trousers, thank you very much.